Hey friends, it's Megan and I'm back at you with a second video of today, and that is because today is an exciting day in the world of baby names. This morning the United States Social Security Administration put up the updated list of the most popular names. So those are the most popular baby names from 2013. I did a video on those names. I will link down below for you in the description box for you to check out after you watch this video. So this video is looking just at those top 10 names, not really talking about them, but actually giving some alternative names that are a little less popular. So here we go. Let's take a look at these names. So the new #1 boy's name in the United States is Noah, and if you wanted something a little less popular, you could use Nolan. I think Nolan is a handsome name. It's still in the top 100. It's number 86, which is a lot less popular than the #1 name. But if that's still too popular for you, you could always use Noel or Noel, depending on how you say this name. And Noel is number 383 in popularity here in the US. The #2 name for boys is Liam, and I really like Levi. That might still be too popular for you because Levi is number 50 in popularity, but they both start with that same Lee sound. If you wanted something really not popular, you could use Leander. Leander is not even in the top 1,000, and again, Liam, Levi, Leander all have the same beginning sound to them. The #3 name now is Jacob because Jacob got knocked down 2 spots. And a cool alternative to Jacob is Jacoby. Jacoby has a similar but different sound, with just 1 letter difference in this spelling of it at least. It's number 487 in popularity currently in the United States. Or you could just take the end of Jacob or Jacoby and use Coby, which is not in the top 1,000 at all. At #4, the #4 name for boys in the US is Mason. A cool alternative, a name I really like, is Maxim. Maxim with the spelling is number 729. This name would be a top 10 name for me personally, on my own little favorite list if it wasn't the name of a men's magazine. That's the only thing holding me back from loving it, but I do think it's a cool name. And another alternative to Mason is Hanson. Bop fans, anyone? So Hanson is not even in the top 1,000, but I think Hanson and Mason kind of have a similar feel or sound to them. The #5 name for boys right now is William, and I think a cool alternative, a name I really like to say, is Wellington. William and Wellington sound very distinguished to me, and you can use Well or Wells instead of Will or Wills as a nickname, and Wellington is not in the top 1,000. Another cool alternative to William is Wilhelm. I was getting ahead of myself. So Wilhelm is a German variation of the name William. That's another cool thing you can do with these names is look at the variations of them in other languages and cultures if you want something just a little bit different and less popular. At #6, I have Ethan, and so my alternative to Ethan is Evren. Evren is a name I've been loving. I recently put it in my own personal top 10 of favorite names. I love the nickname Ever, but Ethan and Evren really have a similar feel to me. Another alternative to Ethan would be Eben. I think Eben is a cool, underused name, and I know I love the nickname Ben. You can tell I love nicknames, and so I think Eben could be a cool alternative to Ethan, and again, not in the top 1,000. At #7, we have Michael. So an alternative to Michael that always comes to my mind is Micah. Micah is number 107 in popularity, so it's still somewhat popular. Another alternative to Michael is Mitchell. Again, similar feel as Michael, and Mitchell is number 458, so a lot less popular than #7. At #8, we have Alexander, and there's so many cool variations of Alexander. One that I like is Oleksander. Oleksander, I almost can't say it right. I'm not giving the name justice, but if you hear it with someone with a juicy accent, it is really awesome, and I think O makes for an interesting initial. And then another alternative to Alexander is Alistair. Alistair and Alexander both start and end in the same sound. At #9, we have Jayden, and a cool alternative, a name that I was just talking about in my random names video, is Jayden or Javan, and that is not in the top 1,000. Another alternative, maybe not super exciting, is just Jay on its own, which is number 392 and reminds me of The Great Gatsby. And then the number 10 name for boys currently is Daniel. So an alternative I really like is Donal, and that's an Irish variation of Donald, just drop the D, but Donal and Daniel have a similar feel, you know, the similar sound, and Donal is not in the top 1,000 name. We don't really hear too much here. And another alternative to Daniel, if you wanted something else, is Raphael. So Raphael is number 597 in popularity, and Daniel, Michael, Raphael, Gabriel, they all have like the similar feel to me, like an archangel feel, and so I know it doesn't start in the same sound, but it ends in the same sound, and I wanted to give you 2 options for each. Okay, let's look at the girls' names and come up with some alternatives for them. So number 1 name right now again is Sophia, and so I think an interesting alternative to Sophia is Sophronia. Sophronia I know is not going to be everyone's cup of tea, but again you can use the nickname Sophie for it. It is not in the top 1,000. And I put it in my steampunk name video, and it's kind of got that cool vibe to me. If you wanted something a little less out there, you could use Serena. Serena is a beautiful name, and it begins and ends in the same letters as Sophia, and it's number 411 in popularity, so much less popular. Number 2 name is Emma. I love that name, Emma. And a cool alternative to Emma would be Gemma. Just add a G in there. Gemma is number 316 in the United States, a lot less popular again. And another alternative to Emma, my favorite girl's name of all time, Emmeline. So Emmeline with this spelling is not in the top 1,000. It's one of the first names I looked up when the new list came out because, like I said, I love this name. And you can use the nickname Emma for Emmeline if you wanted, or Emmy if you want. Okay, the number 3 girl's name right now is Olivia. And a cool alternative to Olivia, I think, is Lydia. Lydia is my number 3 name currently. I love it as well. In popularity, though, here in the US, Lydia is number 96. And I know Olivia and Lydia aren't dead ringers for one another, but they just have a similar kind of feel. Like, I feel like if you like Olivia, you might like the name Lydia. Another alternative to Olivia is Oliviana. So just sounds a little bit more princessy. Just add another N and an A on there. It's a little bit of a mouthful. It's kind of grand and beautiful, but if you like those princessy names, I do. Oliviana, not in the top 1,000. At number 4, we have Isabella. A cool alternative to Isabella, I think, is Arabella. Arabella is so gorgeous. I actually think I like Arabella more than Isabella. I don't know. Arabella is number 210 in popularity, and you could use the nickname Bella still if you love Bella or Belle or Ari or Ara, or you know, tons of nicknames. Another alternative to Isabella that I really like is Isadora. I'm a fan of the American dancer Isadora Duncan, and both start in that same sound if you wanted to get, you know, the Izzy or Isa nickname, and Isadora is not even in the top 1,000. Okay, the number 5 name for girls right now is Ava, and a cool alternative is Avia or Avia. If you watch the Shea Tards, you might recognize this as Princess Tard's name. They pronounce it Avia. I've also seen it and heard it Avia, and again, not in the top 1,000. Another alternative to Ava would be Aya. Aya is a cool name. We don't hear very much. Simple and really striking to me. Also not in the top 1,000. At number 6, we have Mia, and a name I really like that I think could be a cool alternative to Mia is Mara. Mara is, I think, so understated and underused. It's number 751. Another alternative to Mia would be Mira. Again, just one letter off, Mira and Mia, and Mira is number 665. At number 7, we have Emily, and I think a cool alternative to Emily is Amelie. Amelie is one of my favorite movies, if you've seen that, and Amelie is number 604. It has a very similar sound. Another alternative to Emily is Everly, although Everly is definitely a name shooting up in the charts if you watched my last video. With this spelling, this is the more popular spelling of Everly. It is number 383, but I thought some of you might enjoy it, so I wanted to put it on this list. At number 8, we have Abigail, and I think a neat alternative to Abigail is Avril. Again, just that A and the L at the end, and not in the top 1,000 Avril. Another alternative to Abigail is Amabel. Amabel is really underused, I think, and yeah, you could, I guess you could use the nickname Abby for Amabel if you wanted to. Why not? Who's stopping you? Okay, at number 9 we have Madison, and an alternative, a name that I really like, is Madeline. Again, they both start with that mad sound. Madeline is number 90, so it's still in the top 100, but a lot less popular than number 9, right? Another alternative to Madison, it might sound like a bit of a stretch, is Matilda, but actually Matilda and Madison both have roots in the name Maud. Madison meaning son of Maud, and Matilda is a lot less popular at 645. I think it's a beautiful, spunky little name. And then the last name we have for you is Elizabeth. It's the number 10 name currently in the United States again, and you could just use Eliza, the beginning of this name, and Eliza is so cute and spunky. It's number 200 in the US, a lot less popular than number 10, right? And if you wanted something a lot less popular than that, you can use Lisette. I think Lisette is very classy and beautiful sounding, and not in the top 1,000. Again, there's so many cool alternatives to the name Elizabeth if you didn't want to use Elizabeth. So there are just some alternatives to the most popular names in the United States right now. I'm sure many of you are thinking of wonderful alternatives to these names that I didn't think of, so put those in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. Also, again, I have a link to the video I did this morning talking about these top 10 names and the movements on the chart. I will link that in the description box for you below, and I have all these names in the description box for you. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you are enjoying poring over the new SSA list. I'll link that below for you as well, and I'll see you soon for the next video. Bye bye.